In this video, I will talk about 5 atypical ways that help me heal from depression twice. Do you want to hear them? In other videos, I talk about more traditional ways, let's say, to heal from depression, major depression, or anxiety. In this video, I will talk about some ways that are not as spoken of, but have really helped me. So which ones are these? The first one will be cooking. Cooking has helped me when I was at my lowest points, because when I was at my lowest points, I would only feel like killing myself. This was my last depression that I'm just recovering from now. I would just feel like killing myself all the time, and all I could think of was how miserable I was. So cooking would distract me from myself. It would make me concentrate on one single task. It would also give me a goal. Like, I had to do something. So the more complex the dish, the better. So I would be constantly concentrated on cutting vegetables and frying whatever. And I wouldn't be thinking about killing myself. I also think there's something about cooking that has to do with providing for yourself, with nourishing yourself, with providing life to yourself. So in that case, if you're doing that, you can't be killing yourself at the same time. The two don't go well together. The second one is sex. During my first depression in 2015, I was feeling, as most of us are feeling when we're feeling majorly depressed, very ugly, very unwanted. I was feeling very undesirable, and I went on a holiday to my hometown, and I was going to meet a friend of mine, and this was a friend with benefits. We had this long relationship. We had a good companionship. We had trust. We had security. So it wasn't just like we was fucking around all the time. That was not what was happening. But we had this sort of friendship, friends with benefits thing going on. And I told him before I visited him, I am so ugly, maybe, I can be with you, I can meet you, but I'm not the person that you once met. You're gonna find this ugly person, and I have to warn you about that. And when I saw him, he told me, what the fuck are you talking about? You're beautiful, you're so sexy, and you continue to be, and you're even sexier now. And we proceeded to have this amazing sex like only two people who know each other very well can have. I'm not saying that you should go around and go to bed with everyone you meet. This is not what you want. I think you should have safe, protected relations with people if you want to, and with selected people. But if you choose to do it, don't refrain yourself, because it can make you feel wanted. It can make you feel desired again. And also, the contact with another person's skin can produce endorphins. It can produce serotonin, especially if it's prolonged contact. We as a human being, we as a species, we need human contact. We need skin-on-skin contact as well, as all animals do. So yeah, when we're depressed, we isolate a lot and we run away from that contact. So that's a way to have it, and I really feel that can be a booster of your self-confidence, and it can help. It can really help. Third, a typical way of beating depression or helping beat depression is partying. And again, I'm not saying you should go around and drink a lot or party every day. This is not at all what I'm suggesting you to do. But be your natural self. Did you used to go to parties? Did you used to go out? Did you used to see friends? Are you not doing it now? My suspicion is you're not doing it now. As I was not doing it. In my recent depression, I was not going out. I thought I couldn't because I had to keep my sleep schedule because I was having lots of insomnia, lots of anxiety, and also lots of social anxiety, by the way. So a friend of mine came to visit me here in Brussels, where I live now. And when he came to visit me, he said, "Okay, let's go out tonight." He called me. And honestly, that day, I couldn't decide if I was going out or I was hanging myself. That's how far I was at. And I went and I had dinner with him. And after dinner, I cried in his arms. And it was a really cathartic moment. And then we went to my favorite bar. And I'm feeling almost a bit emotional just by talking about this. But yeah, we went to my favorite bar, one of my favorite bars, and I was dancing, and for 5 minutes, even if it was just 5 minutes, I could feel my old self coming back. I could feel myself coming back. I could look at myself from across the room, and I could hold hands with myself, and I could dance with myself. And yes, this feeling didn't last that long. Yes, I was right at the beginning of my recovery, and I was very, very deep still into my depression, but dancing in that bar, man, it really, really helped me. And yeah, okay, I came home at 4 or 3 in the morning, and I didn't sleep that well that day, but man, did I feel better the next day. Number 4 is working. Depending on work, of course. If your work is making you miserable, of course you shouldn't work. But if you have the luck to find something that helps you exploit your qualities, then you won't feel as depressed. I remember in my first depression, I immediately found after I was seriously sick, and when I started to get better, I found a job where I was respected, I was treated well, my qualities were recognized, I was appreciated, etc. So that this all made it it made me feel much better. It made me feel appreciated. It made me feel like part of a group, like part of a community. This is also very important. And one other thing that's also very important and is it gave me some money. I don't know if you're like me, but my major sources of anxiety and depression come from finances. I think I'm not going to make it. I'm going to live in the streets. I'm going to go to a homeless shelter and live there forever, then get sick, and then get sent back to Portugal, and then go back to live with my parents, and then my parents are going to go to a homeless shelter, and then everyone's going to go to a homeless shelter in the end. Everyone will be dying in a homeless shelter, sick with incurable diseases that no one can pay for. This is my fantasy when I'm really far into my anxiety and depression. So if you're working, this kind of helps. The 5th one is a really quick one. I would suggest visiting a new city. Go get out of your city. I talk about in previous videos about the importance of hiking when dealing with depression, the importance of sports, the importance of the contact with nature. Yes, but if you cannot hike, if you cannot go to nature, just go visit a city that's next to yours. Visit a different scenario. Stop looking at the same things. It will make your brain think in different ways, create new neuron pathways, make you solve new problems, even if just for a day, and it will give you I don't think it will be maybe it will be big, a big or small depression break from whatever you're experiencing. Okay, these are my 5 atypical ways of dealing with depression. If you want to see the typical ways, I also have videos about that. I put it on the link below. And let me know which are your ways of dealing it. Did you come out of a depressive episode? Are you recovering from depression or anxiety? Let me know more. Let me know what you think, and let me know which ways you found for yourself, because I think everyone also has their personal ones. Happy summer and happy healings.